Yeah,
And we've already spoken a bit about him. We've got Jim Baxter here.
yeah,
So, is described as an elegant midfielder who proved a constant thorn in England's side during the 1960s. He started at Raith Rovers, and a deal to move to Burnley fell through when £2,500 was asked as a fee. Instead, he signed for Rangers. His finest moment came when he scored both goals in a 2-1 win over England at Wembley, which you mentioned. That's hindsight, isn't it? From
yeah,
Burnley,
yeah.
£2,500, and they could have got Jim Baxter.
I know, amazing, unbelievable. Yeah, well, as I said to you, I knew him well. I was when he came to start the pre-season training. I was the only player he knew
Mm.
because I was the guy that was on the treatment table when he signed, and the manager brought him. The manager was showing him around the dressing room and the treatment room and the bath and all, and out to this pitch. And there was I again on the table getting the knee treated by Davy Kinnear,
Mm.
the remedial gymnast. And Baxter sat and we chatted for a wee while. And therefore, when he came to start the training, I was the only one that he had met. And obviously we were alphabetically pegged, so I was sitting changing beside him. So I think because of that, I never was in the Rangers team. And they used to put up the team on a Friday, and there were no subs in those days.
Yeah.
You know, it was a 12th man, so they put the team up, and if I never even looked at the team because I knew I wouldn't be in it. You know, if you were doubtful, you would look at the team, and I'll never forget. You'll like this wee story. The groundsman used to come in, and he would look at the team. Davy McLeod was his name. And Davy would look at the team and he would turn around and the boys would listen to hear. He would always have an opinion, right? So the Daily Record in the morning had Henderson to get contact lenses. Now, wee Willie Henderson, he was a wee bit blind, you know, and he was just, oh, sir, where's that ball? You know, he was playing by ear. But anyway, Henderson to get contact, that was the headline in the paper. Now, the outside left at the time was Davy Wilson. And Davy Wilson was injured. And the replacement outside left was a guy called Bobby Hume. And Bobby Hume was well known, I think the first player that anyone knew in Scotland to wear contact lenses. So the outside left, Bobby Hume's got them, and the outside right to get them. So Davy McLeod came in, the boys were all nudging each other, and he looks at the notice board, and it's the headed notepaper, Rangers Football Club, the big badge, and he reads the forward line out. He goes, Henderson, McMillan, Miller, Brand, and Hume. He's shaking his head. He says, two blind wingers. I don't know whether to line the park tomorrow or put curb stains along the side of it. That was brilliant. Well, of course, I never had to look, but occasionally my name would be at the bottom.
Yeah.
You know, 12th man, very occasionally. It was an easy game somewhere. But I knew I wasn't going to be in the starting team. So that was the Friday routine. And we would listen to Davy McLeod, and Davy would give an opinion what he thought of the team. Baxter was always in the team, so he didn't have to look. And I stayed in Hamilton, and two other players stayed in Hamilton. The captain at the time was Bobby Shearer, and there was another one, Eric Caldo. And so I got a lift in with them every morning. So, and I could beat them at golf if I couldn't do well at football. So I got some respect,
Yeah.
you know, for being a good golfer.
I think you're underplaying it there a bit. You're more than a good golfer, aren't you?
Well, I was. I'm not now. I was. Well, I was a low handicap. You know, I was in the last 8 of the Scottish boys at that time, and I was runner up in the Lanarkshire Boys Championship. But boys golf, under 18 golf, I was good at that level. But you know, I've never maintained it because my knees not helped, and the fact that I was playing and coaching football so much, you have no time for golf. And Rangers wouldn't let you play after a Wednesday anyway. You weren't allowed to play golf. And I think that's sensible because golf's it's how can I put it? It's not a dynamic sport. It's you're standing around a lot. It's slow motion, and you know, even with a caddy car, it's not ideal. Although you're out in the open and you're healthy and what have you, but I think after a Wednesday, the manager wouldn't want you to be doing anything that would make you sluggish for the Saturday. You want to be electric for Saturday.
Just on Jim Baxter, how much were you aware of him before, while he was at Raith Rovers, before he came to Rangers?
Not to the extent that anyone would imagine. You know, he was a very good player. People knew this was a very good player at Raith Rovers, just like Davy Cooper was a very good player at Clydebank.
Yeah.
But I think Davy had more prominence than Baxter before he came, because Baxter came as a good player, but just beautiful left foot. Everything about him was class. Jim Baxter. So I've got to say that, you know, people say, who are the best players that you've been on a pitch with? Well, he's one of them, without doubt. You mentioned Golzine, he's another top quality, classy player. So, you know, I was quite fortunate that some very, very good players. That Dundee team that won the league, that was Lenny, Hamilton and Cox. Hamilton and Cox were international fullbacks. Bobby Seath played for Burnley. Ewer and Wishart. Gordon Smith won the league with 3 different teams: Hearts, Hibs and Dundee. Smith, Andy Penman, Cousin, Golzine and Robertson. I mean, that was the main Dundee team.
Yeah.
So they were legendary at that time, and they couldn't do anything wrong. Now, Rangers weren't that much ahead, or weren't ahead in fact, because we won the league and we drew with them at home and beat them at Ibrox on the way to winning the league. And I think I said to you earlier, we lost at Celtic on the way there, because I was to play against Lennox, and we were beaten 2-1. Billy McNeil scored the winner with a header. So that wasn't so good, but we still managed to win the league.